Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation of the Akim, pushing out the word in truth and sincerity of the hopeful elect around the globe. All right, I just want to share this quick clip, all right, of going into an eviction notice. This happened last week, but you know they had my page banned, so I'm getting back to it now. I wanted to cover on this because this is gonna happen a whole lot now with the mortgage moratorium, Salakia for lack of a better term. The mortgage that word that it was talking about, that you didn't have to pay your rent since the pandemic. All right. Well, now that that little protection, that little cushion that people had, you know, to get back on their feet, you know, because they owed all that back rent or all that back mortgage. All right. Now that it's up, people are going to lose their shit. They're going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their apartments. And this was an eviction notice that they served. I believe it was in Hollywood. Yeah. And because the guy didn't want to get evicted, naturally, like no one does, you know, it ended up leading to a standoff, a deadly standoff. And I believe he ended up committing suicide. But this is the same way that some of these cops and sheriffs are going to go serve certain warrants and serve certain evictions, all right, to get people out of their homes. And deadly standoffs, deadly shootouts are going to happen. And it's all prophetic, okay? So let's just go into the clip and then we'll get into the scriptures and we won't make it too long. Just like it is written in Esdras, and we're instructed through the book of Esdras that we have to watch as well as pray, all right, and measure the time diligently. Okay, we're measuring the time by watching these prophecies, measuring the time by seeing the times that we're living in, okay, leading up to the prophetic events that will bring about the end of Babylon the Great, which is so-called America. Okay, this is the spearhead of this tyrannical, godless, disorderly, filthy, wicked kingdom. Okay, so we have to prophesy. All right.
Yeah, let me set this up for you, getting out of the way. The building in question is the one you see on the right there in the
Fair
corner.
use.
That is where sheriff deputies were serving the eviction. They hear a gunshot out of that apartment, and if you look, that building is right across from the freeway, so they immediately had to close everything down, including the freeway, which was crazy. Here's what happened. Let me show you. LA County Sheriff teams surround an apartment building off Cahuenga in Hollywood,
Fair
where an
use.
eviction notice escalates into a standoff when deputies knock on the resident's door.
A door knock, asked them to come to the door, and when they did that, that's when they heard the gunshot.
Deputies quickly retreat. The 101 freeway is shut down where it goes by the apartment building, which is evacuated. Residents telling us they saw an eviction notice posted on the apartment door a few days ago.
Most of the correspondents would sit on his door for like couple weeks. When I saw the eviction notice, I thought, oh, he's probably already split.
Most believe a recent 7% rent increase was the catalyst.
That's going to become more and more common now that the eviction moratorium's over.
Sheriffs who serve eviction notices in LA County say they are running into more problems.
Quite a few high-risk evictions, yes. You know, high risk, where people have made threats, people are uncooperative.
The sound of flashbangs and gas canisters being deployed by SWAT as they try to contact a resident, eventually finding a body inside the apartment, which doesn't surprise too many people here.
It's tough out right now.
I think in the times we're living in that nothing surprises me, sadly.
It's a recession. We just got out of 2 years of whatever that was.
If you were evicted tomorrow,
a lot of people don't know where they're going to go. The housing problem is such an issue.
a lot of people from other buildings here and businesses telling us they're getting rent increases 7 and 8%. It makes sense because California's rent hikes are tied to inflation. You know where that has been going. Even when you have rent control, depending on the age of the building or where you are, quite a few people getting as much as 10%. Now, in terms of this situation, this man has yet to be identified. The freeway is reopened, but you can see that it's still a nightmare, as it usually is at this time of day in this area. Anyway, it's even worse. I'm Christina Gonzalez, live in the Hollywood Hills. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Come here, check this out. Check this out.
All right, so as we see, with the hyperinflation that's going on, more and more of this will be going on. Even Esau himself prophesying, okay, saying that more and more of this is going on. And little do they know, these people are not grounded in the scriptures like the prophets. We say it time and time again, and that the word of the Bible is real. Okay, so 2 Esdras 15 and 14 reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." All right, woe meaning destruction, because that's all that is ahead for the future of Babylon. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Especially when more than the sheriff is going to be these armies, all right, these Gurga troops, all right, that are going to flood the cities because of martial law and all the calamity and all the uproars and anarchy that's going to be going on against the governments, all right, for them reaching desperation, okay, them losing their homes, them not even being able to buy food no more, okay. That's where we're headed. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. This is why the scriptures tell us to depart from the world. That means that, in spirit and mind, in the ways of this world, its customs, its wicked holidays, depart, okay? Be holy, be a separate people. Come back to your Lord and his customs, and you will have mercy. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right? When people are going to be removed from their homes, they're going to do it like this, man. They're going to shoot it out with the cops, and they shoot themselves. All right? If they don't have a gun, they're going to take their kitchen knives, whatever it takes. All right? To protect their well-being. Naturally so. Carnal instincts. All right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, the modern day kings and princes is this government, your presidents, your governors, your senators. Okay, people are not going to take regard to that, to the law and being a law-abiding citizen when their ribs are touching. Okay. Invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Full lockdowns, which we already saw that in the pandemic, all right? Those were all drills, mock drills to really shut this shit down, coming soon. All right, as you see in a lot of these stores and pharmacies, they're locking up the goods, the drinks, the food. All right, and that's because they already anticipating all out anarchy. They know that through hyperinflation and them disrupting the supply chain, that the more and more inflation is going to be going on. And in these high interest rate markets, with everything hyperinflating, the only people winning are the banks, the international bankers. All right, so they win when blood spills in the streets. And that's what they have in mind to bring in this NWO, this New World Order. That's why truth is flooding the world, okay? And truth is out. All right, so with that, I won't make this too long. I hope brothers and a few sisters are edified, measure the times. These are the times we're leading up to, Our only refuge is going to be coming back to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. Till next time, shalom. All honor, love, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.